Imagine a brand new car that promises luxury features usually found in vehicles twice its price. It's not from Germany, it's not from Detroit, and it's certainly not the name you'd expect. At first glance, it looks like just another daily driver. But dig deeper, and you'll find tech that rivals premium brands, surprising performance numbers, and a design choice that could change how we think about its segment. So, is this the budget luxury breakthrough? Or just clever marketing dressed in chrome? Let's find out. This isn't just another car rolling into showrooms. It's a statement. The 1992 Acura Legend comes from a brand that's built its reputation on reliability, luxury, and performance. And this model aims squarely at drivers who want family-friendly comfort with sporty daily driving. On paper, it's positioned to challenge established German rivals, and the brand clearly wants you to see it as more than just a new option. It's meant to be a real contender. From the outside, the design tells you a lot. Sharp lines, bold accents, and proportions that hint at sportiness and efficiency. Step inside, and you'll find a cabin that feels more upscale than the price tag suggests. But of course, looks can be deceiving. The real question is, does this car actually deliver on its promises, or is it just riding on hype? Stick around, because in the next sections, we're breaking down performance, comfort, and value to see if the 1992 Acura Legend truly earns its spotlight. The first thing you notice about the 1992 Acura Legend is the stance. It sits low, wide, and confident, like it wants you to know it belongs in the same conversation as the heavyweights. The front end carries a bold grille and sculpted headlights that don't just light the road. They frame the car with a sharp, modern identity. Around back, the lines taper into a clean finish, with tail lamps that look like they were borrowed from a much pricier segment. Step inside, and the surprises keep coming. The cabin greets you with soft-touch materials, a floating infotainment screen, and an instrument cluster that feels fresh rather than recycled. The seats strike a balance between everyday comfort and road trip endurance, with just enough bolstering to remind you this isn't an appliance. It's a driver's car. And for passengers, there's generous legroom, a flat floor in the rear, and thoughtful touches like USB-C ports and ambient lighting that give it a premium edge. Of course, looks and comfort only tell part of the story. Under the hood, the 1992 Acura Legend is powered by a refined engine that pushes out competitive horsepower. That may not sound earth-shattering, but paired with a smooth transmission, it translates into brisk acceleration that feels sharper than the spec sheet suggests. 0 to 60 comes in at an impressive pace, and while that's not going to dethrone a supercar, it's quick enough to keep your morning commute interesting. Handling is another highlight. Push the throttle, and the car leaps forward with more urgency than you'd expect, the torque kicking in right where you need it. The steering is light in city traffic, but firms up nicely on twisty roads, and the suspension feels tuned to strike a rare balance. Comfortable enough for daily use, yet stable enough to inspire confidence when you push it harder. Whether you're weaving through tight corners or cruising on the highway, the car maintains composure. And with noise insulation that keeps wind and road roar to a minimum, it feels like a class above what you might expect at this price. Technology plays a big role, too. You get features like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and a surround view camera system that makes tight parking spots less intimidating. The infotainment interface is smooth and responsive, avoiding the laggy menus that plague some rivals. And depending on the trim, you can spec it with extras like a premium audio system, panoramic roof, or heated and ventilated seats, features that make long drives genuinely enjoyable. But it's not all perfect. Rear visibility is compromised by those stylish sloping pillars, and while cargo space is respectable, it's not best in class. Some interior plastics, especially lower down, feel a little cheaper than the rest of the cabin. And if you're a purist who loves the tactile feedback of physical buttons, the heavy reliance on touch controls might be frustrating. Still, the real test isn't just about design, comfort, or features. It's about how this car stacks up in value. And that's where things get really interesting. Because while rivals like BMW and Mercedes ask you to pay a premium for similar equipment, the 1992 Acura Legend might just undercut them in ways that make you stop and reconsider. But before we talk price, let's take a closer look at the standout highlights and the drawbacks you'll need to weigh carefully. And this is where things get interesting. On paper, the 1992 Acura Legend looked promising. Respectable power, solid features, competitive pricing. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Out on the road, you feel the truth immediately. Push the throttle, and the car leaps forward with more urgency than you'd expect, the torque kicking in right where you need it. The steering, which seemed light in city driving, suddenly sharpens up on a winding road, giving you that sense of control that makes you want to keep driving just a little bit harder. But then, the cracks start to show. At higher speeds, the suspension, so smooth around town, feels just a touch too soft, letting the body lean more than rivals like BMW or Mercedes. The brakes, while strong, lack the precise bite you'd hope for in spirited driving. It's not a deal-breaker, but it reminds you, this is still a car built with comfort as the first priority. Still, the surprise is just how well it balances everything. On one hand, you get luxury-like quietness, premium-feeling tech, and impressive fuel economy or range. On the other, you get just enough performance to keep it exciting. And when you realize that the 1992 Acura Legend manages all this while coming in thousands less than its closest competition, the equation suddenly shifts. This is the moment where expectations meet reality, and reality might just be better than the brochure promised. The 1992 Acura Legend isn't perfect, but it nails the mix of everyday usability and unexpected thrills in a way few cars in this segment have pulled off. So the real question now is, does that combination make it the smarter buy, or are its flaws enough to steer you back toward the familiar names? Let's bring it all together in the final verdict. So, after spending time with the 1992 Acura Legend, what's the final word? This isn't just another entry in a crowded market, it's a car with a clear identity. On the plus side, you've got a refined interior, strong tech package, confident acceleration, and competitive pricing, all of which make it feel like a step above what you'd expect at this level. For daily drivers who value comfort, style, and value without giving up a dash of excitement, it absolutely delivers. Of course, there are trade-offs. The softer suspension at higher speeds, limited cargo space, and over-reliance on touch controls will matter more to some buyers than others. If you prioritize razor-sharp handling or maximum utility, you might find better options in rivals like BMW or Mercedes. But here's the real impact. The 1992 Acura Legend represents where the market is headed. Consumers want smarter value, technology that feels intuitive, and efficiency without sacrificing personality. And in that sense, this model hits the mark. It's proof that you don't need to spend premium brand money to get a car that feels premium in the ways that count. For younger buyers stepping into their first new car, this could be the right blend of affordability and aspiration. For families, it's a dependable daily with enough comfort to make long trips enjoyable. And for enthusiasts, maybe it won't replace your weekend sports car, but it might surprise you with how fun it can be. So here's the big question. Is the 1992 Acura Legend the smartest buy in its segment right now? Based on this review, it's hard not to call it one of the most compelling choices, especially when you weigh price against everything it brings to the table. But I'd love to hear your take. Would you put your money on the 1992 Acura Legend or stick with one of its rivals? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more honest reviews, and hit the bell so you never miss the next deep dive into the cars that shape our roads.